Welcome to the Success Revenue Podcast, the only podcast in the Middle East that brings you leaders in customer success, account management, sales, and go to market to share ideas, perspectives, and valuable learnings on how to successfully drive revenue, delight customers, and take it to the next level.
We are your hosts. I'm Mohammed Alqaq, CEO of RevSetter, the modern customer management platform. And I have with me my lovely co-host, Ivy Ferrero, CS executive, keynote speaker, and advisor. And we're going to be more excited to bring you a long list of guests this season on the Success Revenue podcast. And today's guest is no exception. We are super excited to bring you someone that has almost 30 years of experience in this space, that is a true pioneer of customer success within the Middle East region, and someone that's not just great at the operational side and the role itself and the knowledge around it, but also at building community. So some of the takeaways you'll learn about during this episode is around how you can drive and build community around customer success in the Middle East region. And we'll also speak about the different ways that AI has already started to and will continue to impact customer success across the region in the Middle East and beyond. And lastly, you'll also learn a lot about how to think about definitions around customer success versus account management and other departments that are connected, but also around the overall company and customer journey that you should think about. So a lot of learnings from today's episode ahead, a lot of really, really cool topics that we'll get into. Ivy, it's great to see you. I'm very excited about today's conversation. It's with someone that really is, again, a pioneer within customer success in the region that you and I both know, and he kind of introduced us to each other through some of the things that we did together. So yeah, I'm excited about that. How you been, Ivy? And today's episode?
Yes, I am so excited. I had such a good weekend. I took Rumi, my baby boy that is 3 years old. I took him to this super cool nature park that is kind of small.
Nice.
And is by Kite Beach. I have to send you the name.
Yes.
Because
I was going to say,
children can feed their turtles and they can feed different animals, and it's super cute. So I had such a wholesome weekend, I would say. But yeah, I am so excited here because, Mo has been a part of our journey. He's the main reason of how we met. And I think that he puts in a lot of work, and you can see that his heart is in the right place, because only a true community builder can actually do what he has been able to do, which is like get chapters going in different places in Middle East, get people to do Coffee Connect, like to be able to motivate people. It's something that is actually, you have to be doing it and be successful at it because you're truly passionate. If not, you wouldn't have the drive to actually push forward a mission just like this. So yes, I'm super excited because just like in the US, there are like CS conventions. I believe there's one that just happened in London, which I was not able to make it, which I was so sad. But I think there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of CS events to start happening in general in the Middle East. And so, yeah, I'm so excited. Super excited.
Yeah. Yes, same here. I'm very excited about that as well. And it's cool, right? Because you should, every time we speak to one of our guests or just out there in the community, and obviously we're meeting a lot of executives across go-to-market in our kind of daily jobs, and you kind of feel like how hungry people are to learn and share knowledge and get more out of what their learnings around customer success and account management, revenue, and so on and so forth. Both here in the UAE, but when I go to Saudi, we have Egypt, Jordan, a lot of these other markets across the GCC. So what our today's guest, everyone got already a hint to who it is. We'll really dive into some of those aspects as well, I'm sure, in terms of as we go through the conversation. But it's really cool. We see it everywhere, and it's cool to be part of that as well. Ivy, we're part of sharing that knowledge and getting people connected and getting a lot of these really cool thought leaders and executives and industry experts, and getting them to kind of share their knowledge to the overall community. So I'm pumped that we're doing that, and yeah, excited about the conversation here coming up. So what do you say? Are you ready to bring our guest on?
Yeah,
Should we do it?
let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, sorry.
Awesome. All right, let's do it. Hi, everyone. And we're so excited to bring in today's guest here. As we mentioned, Mohammed Alqaq is the founder of the Customer Success Middle East organization, which is a community to advance and promote and empower CS professionals in the Middle East. And he's also a strategic customer success manager at Oracle, has, I think, well over 30 years of extensive experience in the space, including 2 decades dedicated into customer-facing roles across multiple large organizations. Really passionate about driving great customer success and helping organizations through their cloud journey. Really focused on accelerating value. So I'm super excited to have Mohammed here with us today, because he's also not just a true pioneer in customer success in the Middle East, has a ton of experience, but he's also recognized as one of the primary thought leaders within our space internationally, and especially in the Middle East. So, Mohammed, welcome to the podcast. We're so excited to have you on, and I'm really, really looking forward to today's conversation.
Thank you, Haider. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you, Heidi, for inviting me. I'm so excited for this, and I'm honored to be part of your podcast.
Amazing, amazing. And Mohammed, I know people will kind of want to know, given your long and extensive experience, let's start maybe simple, right? Like, give us about your background story, your origin, kind of where you're based, how you kind of transition a little bit into where you are today. I'd love to hear that as a starting point from you.
As you just said, people call me Mo. I love this. So I'm based in Jordan. I'm a Jordanian. I have an engineering background, almost 30 years of experience. Started my career in the engineering industry for almost 11 years. Then I moved to the IT industry, but in the engineering practice within the IT industry. So that, combine my background and my passion for technology. So I worked in a customer facing role for almost now 22 years. Started from a consultant, application consultant, to project manager, to service director, and to success program manager, or global success program manager, if you want to call it. And I'm moving towards where I am today. I would say I do what I love, and I love what I do.
That's awesome.
Really perfect, because my passion to customer success is, I think it's by nature. It's in me. I don't fake it. I don't plan to do something. I just do it naturally, and what I'm doing.
Amazing, amazing. And it's so funny, right? Like you said 23 years with customer facing roles. I kind of always say it all the time. People ask me, how long have you been in customer success? Well before it was called customer success. But back when I started, it was called something else. It was, client relations or account management, kind of old school account management, or what have you. So you kind of had that same journey. I've been in what was really the space yet, which is an amazing perspective to have. And one of the things, that's kind of this story has led you to, right, is the customer success Middle East organization that you started. Tell us a little more about that. Tell us about your journey to kind of founding that organization, where you guys are with it today. And I think the audience are really curious about that.
Yeah, thank you, Haider. A few years ago, I felt that, we are in the Middle East. I can say the whole Middle East, but, from the environment, or from the people, or from the companies I've met, and from the industry I've been involved in, I felt that, we are still not there when it comes to customer success. We have the title, but we don't have, or we don't do the actual. And I felt that, there is a gap. And being or coming from an international background and experience, I felt that we still need some time to grow and to understand and to implement customer success the way it should be. So I felt, I have the experience, I have the background, I have the capability and capacity to do something to give back to the community or to the industry. So I started by myself. I started to, sharing posts on LinkedIn, and then built the community website. And I started, talking to people, trying to convince them to join. The first few months, we were like two members in the community, myself and my wife.
That's a good the foundation right there.
Yeah, so we started the community from home, uh, but I would say it is my second home today. Today we grow to almost 2,000 members, subscribers, more than 600 subscribers to our newsletter. It's growing. More and more people, they understand the value of being part of the community. The commercial community, the whole purpose of the community is to provide a hub for people to learn and cross the gap between where they are today and where they want to be tomorrow. By engaging with international leaders or experience, trying to bring all the experience from all different other regions to the local community and show them what is the difference, where we can do better, what is more important to focus on. So this is what we are trying to do in the community. We are trying to, which I like to say, that we are connecting the dots and we are bringing east to west by growing our community, engage with other communities so we can grow as a global community at the end of the day.
Yeah. Mo, I really look up to you. And I feel like you are like the top persons who is pioneering this in the Middle East. And I arrived just a year ago from the US. And as soon as I arrived and I started looking for community in customer success in the Middle East, you were introduced to me by Rachel Proban, who is one of my mentors in the US. And that introduction changed my life because when I met you, you introduced me to so many other people, and like really, you are a community builder, and you have made so many incredible connections. And I even the reason why Peter and I are friends today is because of you. So I think you're doing so much for the community, and I thank you because I don't think we recognize you enough. And so yeah, so thank you so much for your mission. It definitely is paying off, and it'll even pay off in tenfold. So, so yeah,
It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. And, I feel more excited when I hear such things. At the end of the day, this is all what I want to hear and see. That people are satisfied, people are happy with what we are doing, and we are making the
yeah,
connection, because community is all about connections, connect people together, and bring different experience all together in the same place. It doesn't have to be physically in the same place, but um, uh, as part of the industry. Uh, I really appreciate that, and it means a lot to me. Yeah, it
yeah.
gives me more responsibility now to.
But Mo, I want to touch on something. This really um tell us something about community. And I think that in a world where things are changing rapidly and with the advancement with AI and all of the things that are happening, and basically one of the things that I am so amazed is that the adaptability that you've been having towards this region and evolving with the region and making sure that that customer success does become also a main core focus here in the Middle East is incredible. And I wanted to ask you that basically with AI and all of the things that are happening, one of the things that I wanted to ask you is how do you think that is going to impact customer success, and then, like how do you think we're going to be able to leverage AI to our advantage?
So I'm going to talk about AI in terms of, or in general for the customer success, because, uh, I believe this year AI will be a necessity. It's a mandatory to look at AI and to start to leverage the benefit or leverage the uh, features and functions that it brings to your business today, whether it's on a business scale or a personal scale. AI is not just something to, it's not only ChatGPT to write something for me or to find me information or to collect some data for me. It's way more than that. And, I believe companies should look at AI the way that it will bring much value to their table so they can understand more what they need to do next. AI should be the tool that all customer success around the world use today to analyze customer data. And analyzing customer data is not only the usage, because I always say product usage or customer or user usage is a false indication, because sometimes there are seasonality in software using. It's not steady all the time. They might have a project, and it's a tight project with a very short deadline, and they put extra force to deliver the project. The usage will go up by 100%. But that's a false indication, because this is only happens for a reason. But AI should do is start to, or what you should do with AI is you start to train the AI that, this seasonality happened. We need to include this from our analysis of the software usage. But again, it's not only the usage, it's a lot more than that. Customer the customer interaction with the software, the support ticket, the type of support ticket, the reason of the support ticket. A lot more information you can bring into AI, start to analyze those data, train the system, what is happening, why it's happening, and when things happen, it what impact this will do, or will what impact will do to other signals or other data signal or line. And that will give me an indication that, okay, when things happen, it impact this and that. And that will give me a better understanding. How can I interact with my customer? When I should be forecasting something. Because again, if you start to train your AI that, those are things that happen in the future, you can start to forecast that, this happens in this time because of this. When something triggered the system, it will give you an indication that this might happen in the future. And you start to learn more, and you start to be more proactive and more in the way you are thinking to reach to your customer, because it's not about delivering value today. And the value is there, but if the customer doesn't need that value today, then you are doing something wrong. You need to understand what is customer looking for. The desired out. I always say customer desired outcome is the first. You need to think about this. Even sometimes if their desired outcome is not something you can do today, but success will not happen overnight. And for me, success is a multi-attempt of successful and value delivery to the customer. You start to build on top of each other, where you reach to a level where you become the trusted advisor. You cannot become a trusted advisor before delivering a lot of value and we drive more outcomes to your customer.
Yeah, yeah, and that's so interesting. Well, go ahead if you want to add something to it.
Yeah, and so I just AI is not a tool to help me write an email, be help help me to do something with my customer, or respond to a
Well,
service ticket. Or no, this is the front end of AI. I need to look at that AI, where I need to implement AI, and how I should implement it.
yeah.
Because today we're collecting so many data from customer and from ours. But if only If we don't bring this data to our AI to analyze it, we're, we're not using it right
Right.
with that.
And so I wanted to ask you a little bit about customer success in the Middle East, but as you're talking about AI, Mo, let me get your kind of reaction to a prediction I have. Okay, let me kind of take us a little bit off the beaten path here, because as you're talking through this, right, I think what a lot of teams and companies are realizing more and more is, you say, hey, we want to implement AI into our customer success practices, or really any department, into our workflows. And they start realizing it's really hard, because you need a really good data layer, you need kind of a clean infrastructure, you need to implement the right type of AI technology and tools, all that stuff. So I think companies are making that transition from chat GPT initially to now we have agents. Where I believe it's heading, and part of this I'm biased as a CEO of a company that's building these things as well for the future, but where I think it's heading is customer success teams and really organizations are going to start interacting with teams of AI agents, not an individual AI chat or an agent, but actually teams of agents that are really good at different things within the software that you're using, right? That can analyze the customer data, look at the trends, or do certain activities in these things, and kind of have that interaction. As you look towards kind of this, like, what do you think from an AI kind of futuristic perspective in customer success? I don't believe we're ever going to go to AI replacing CS completely or sales completely, because there's too many nuances, there's too many segments of customers and these things. But kind of having that digital team member or digital team working with you around your customer, what do you see around that? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. That prediction or idea for the upcoming year here.
Customer success is all about human interaction and empathy. AI will not do that. So AI will complement, will only,
Yeah.
we will use AI to complement what we are doing. But the first, or in the front of the customer success relation or interaction with the customer, is the human touch. And like, without those, AI will not do customer success, and will never do customer success, because customer wants to hear from a human, wants to interact with a human. You can use digital and you can use the AI agent to help, but without human interaction, customer success is not there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it's, we had that same conversation when it came to digital CS. Will it replace, CSMs, and we can digitalize the entire journey and whatnot? And to some extent, we create efficiencies in that, but to some extent, the customers need humans to do certain things, especially certain types of customers, right? That we look at, you work with enterprise organizations and more long tail customers and things of that nature. So that makes a lot of sense as well to me.
Heather, there's one thing that I wanted to add here. It is that I think to do the job of customer success, you need to have like a high emotional intelligence. And I don't know if AI can have high emotional intelligence. It can definitely have an IQ, but I think that would be really the challenge.
Definitely. Awesome. And then Mohammed, as a veteran and not just CS, but customer success in the Middle East specifically, and you're based in Jordan, but obviously do our work with Egypt and UAE and Saudi, across the region. I'm kind of curious to kind of get your take on also where do you feel customer success is today in the Middle East region, kind of where you're seeing it evolving towards as well, whether that's customer success and account management, kind of the customer facing piece of it. Where do you see it today?
It's growing, it's improving. If I compare with customer success today to 2 years ago, we are way advanced than 2 years ago, but we are still growing. There are still a lot of things we need to do in the region, especially when it comes to differentiate what is customer success versus account manager versus support versus marketing success or user experience. Those are the things that we need to focus on nowadays in the region to really define fine tuning or a defined role what is each one or what each one can do. Plus, still we need to do a lot more in the region where we increase the awareness that customer success is not a department, it's a company wide. And customer journey should not be only after sales. And customer journey, our journey map should start from marketing, cover everything between marketing and renewal or support or whatever. And so this is the things that we need to focus on. I'm seeing a lot of companies that are raising investment in CS teams and in local company and multinational companies. But again, it's not one team. We need to change that perception that it's a one department, it's a company wide. And if you want to invest in customer success, it should go through the whole company, not one department.
Well,
Uh,
Mo is
we
dropping
have
some knowledge here. Knowledge bombs.
yeah. And other things we need to do in the region is to balance between the CS practice globally or international or in different regions. When we implement it locally in the region, we need to do that balance. We cannot bring things as is and say it needs to work in our region. It will never work. There is a lot of other circumstances, the cultural, the customer behavior, the user behavior. They are all different, and we can always bring best practices from other regions, but we need to localize it first before we implement it. Because if we start to implement it, international practices, we will fail somewhere. So localizing customer success frameworks and customer journeys to the local region is very important if you want to grow with customer success in the region and in the business in the region.
Wow, so good. And Mo, I wanted for you to explain to us a little bit more on how do you think that customer success is a second revenue engine for a company?
For me, I don't differentiate customer success from sales, because we all bring revenue. Okay, sales is one step ahead of us. They bring in the revenue, but we are the one who maintain that revenue year over year. So we are equal, if not even, we are better somewhere because, we maintain that revenue. They bring it one time. We maintain it 10
We're
years.
better.
So we are the one who make the revenue for the company. So uh, uh, there is a misunderstanding in the region that sales is the revenue generator is a hit cost. No, we are not a hit cost. We are a revenue generator because if you bring the customer in today and you don't do there is no customer success with this customer in a year time, if not less than that, they will sure they will look for somewhere else. They will start to look for another product. If you don't deliver the outcome, they will just leave. So customer success is the revenue generator. I don't want to call them the second revenue generator in the company. They are a revenue generator.
Yeah, just like I think just on that, just really quick as well. It's if you look at most companies, 50 to 80, 85% of their revenue sits with customers, not with new business, right? So that's where the bulk of it sits. I always like to use the analogy where, sales are the ones that kind of put logs in the fire. They maybe start the fire, right, for a company. But when that fire is burning, customer success is the oxygen. That's what kind of keeps it alive. That's what continues to grow it. And without the oxygen, you can throw as many logs on there as you want, but it's not gonna stay lit, right? So I think that's a way to look at it and kind of really think about the actual revenue of a company and think about customer success as that oxygen that keeps that alive, right? So I totally agree there. I think that's a shift that's happening in the Middle East region, which is really exciting to see as the smart companies and the companies that are ahead of the curve are already doing it or starting to do it, and then others are coming behind and learning how to implement these things as well. So, yeah, definitely agree with you guys there.
I love that definition. We are the oxygen. I usually used to say customer success is the
Yeah.
maestro in any business, but now we are the oxygen maestro.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Gotta use those good analogies where, where in CS, it's all about storytelling and build good stories for value of customers. So yeah, love that.
Yeah. So, well, going back to the CS community that you've been able to build in the Middle East, what are some of like the trends and conversations you see happening in the community today?
There are a lot of conversation and a lot of things are going around in the community, but if I look at the region and, all the conversation I had with people and we have through events or activities, you know, people are struggling sometimes to present to their management the value of what they are doing. So this is one of the challenges we have and the conversation people keep saying and talking about is how we present what we deliver value to the customer, but sometimes we work on in the back behind the scene. Nobody see what we are doing. Sometimes you spend like 12 hours a day working with the customer. You deliver value to customer, but in company who understands what you are doing. And people are struggling to present the value they are delivering, the value they bring to the company by delivering or driving the desired outcome for the customer. And this is something really important. And one of the things that I want to focus on this year in the community is to bring a lot of leaders to talk about, how to present your value to your manager.
I love that. I think a lot of customer success departments and people in this field are very frustrated. So prove that.
Yeah, it's definitely the case. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a role like where there's a lot going on when you're in customer success. There are a lot of stakeholders internally, externally. You kind of try to piece all that together as a CSM or account manager, kind of any customer facing role, right? You're on the front lines, trying to piece those things together. And one of those kind of related to that as well, right? Right, Mo, is you touched on it earlier, and I kind of was holding off on asking because I want to hear the rest of your answer on what you were talking to. But there is this kind of intersection between customer success, account management, customer experience, support, of course, as well. Um, and the definitions are unfortunately not clear, right? So, at any given organization, you go and ask, okay, what does your customer success team do, or what does your account management team do, or what is customer experience? And you go to 100 different organizations, you'll get 100 different answers. And it's not just in the Middle East region; it's the same back in the U.S., North America region, and Europe. Less and less, some of the things that start to kind of shift a little bit, but generally speaking, there's kind of unclear divisions between the different roles. There are kind of unclear things. How do you view that? Do you have an ideal way of defining who does what? Do you think it's organizationally dependent, or is it time for us to kind of, as a community, start to kind of define and streamline some of these things to speak the same language?
Yeah, I believe the most important thing is to draw a company success journey, not a customer success journey. The company success journey starts from marketing all the way to the renewal team. If we follow that journey, then we start to identify each step or each phase of this journey, who's responsible for this phase. Then that will create the role, and each will have a different role. That will create the differentiation between the roles, between marketing, sales, customer success, support, you name it. If we create that will help us then to reflect on the customer success map or the customer success journey. So we have journeys, the company journey, then the customer journey. But if we all agree in the company journey, then the customer journey will become like everyone in the company has a piece of that journey. and everyone needs to deliver towards that goal. Creating those three levels, we have a well-defined role and job description, and we have a company-wide success plan that exists, that everybody is part of it. Then a customer framework. I don't want to call it success plan because for each customer you need to create one. But if the framework is there, then you can create a specific customer success plan.
Yeah, no, that's great. And yeah, I was speaking about the revenue journey. The frameworks like the bow tie model and others out there that kind of are trying to start speaking that language, right? Of how do we connect the entire piece from initial, first time the prospect sees you to the time they become a customer and decide to stay on and renew and grow and all these different things down the line. It's all very connected, and then everyone kind of plays a different role in that particular process. So I really like that concept of the company success map and kind of bleeding down to the customer journey and beyond. And kind of with that in mind, then Mo, one of the things, really two things that if we look at the post sales, the customer side of this, right? Two of the things that typically enable really good customer success is good. Obviously, you need the team and the people need to place. But good CS strategy or good strategy, and then good technology and kind of resources that helps the team be efficient. Um, how do you see those two things play a role in successful organizations that you've worked with or that you've advised or observed? When strategy and technology and the CS kind of process or role is coming together in a nice way. How do you typically see that come together? Any advice for people that you think is good to share around that?
Yeah, so my advice is, don't think that the customer success manager is the Superman. If you want customer success manager to drive strategy, to drive value, and deliver the desired outcome for your customer, then you need to have a layer where this type of person focus on those things. Then the second layer is where you have somebody who is part of the customer success, but is more focused on the technology. Because if I go today and start to talk about strategy with my customer and tomorrow talk about technology, then where they should come to me? When do they come to me? When they have to discuss strategy or to discuss technology? We need that differentiation between what is strategic customer success manager is and what is a customer success manager or what is a customer success specialist. Strategic customer success manager, and usually those for enterprises, they should not do both strategic and technology conversation all the time. All right. And if you are a strategic, keep discuss the strategy. You work with your customer to plan ahead, to draw your strategy map for the coming year. Try to work with the customer on initiatives that it will bring more value to them. Now, whether this can be done in one day or in 1 year, then it will become the customer success technology specialist responsibility to make it happen. Companies, especially enterprise or the companies or the companies who works with enterprises, they should have this two tier or two layers of customer success. One is focusing on the strategy, and the other one talks about technology. That doesn't mean that the strategic customer success manager will not talk about technology, but he will not dig deep into the technology.
Got it.
You should leave it to someone who is breathing technology. That's what will make this journey with your customer by trying to have peace for different people to deliver the value to your customer. There is That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
I like that.
I thought this year through the community that if you want to be strategic, you need to think about this. If you want to be a technology customer success manager, then you need to do this.
That's so interesting. And more on this same question, just in general, I am of the opinion that customer success managers should own renewal, because obviously we work backwards to make sure that the client has what they came here for, right? So one of the things that triggers me a little bit is sometimes seeing that customer success managers are not owning the renewal and account managers do own the renewal. What are your thoughts on this?
For me, renewal is a result, not an event. So there is nothing in my plan says renewal. It's all about the value I delivered over the year, which will result in renewal. So renewal is a result, not an event. It should be part of customer success responsibility because we are the one who deliver value. So we are the one who are making the renewal. So if you deliver value throughout the year, renewal will happen. So it's a result. If you don't deliver value, it will not happen. Then it will become an event that I need to fight for it.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Your humble opinion.
So I always look at as you know as a result. Honestly, when I start to do my planning, uh, I just don't consider that there is an event that I need to look at or plan for or prepare for that calls renewal. I know that there is start date and end date, but that does not mean that the end date is the renewal date. I plan can be like 6 months after the renewal, but because I work with the customer and we agreed on activities and initiatives that it will go for 15. If I deliver the value over the coming 10 months or 9 months, then the renewal will happen because we want to continue on the value that we agreed to deliver. I believe every customer success manager should think about it this way. You know, think about the value you deliver today, not the renewal that you need to prepare for after a few months.
I love that. And Mo, do you have any sort of like learnings or examples from your experience that you've been in customer success for 30 years about driving excellent customer success yeah, in general for organizations?
Yeah. So I believe I've learned it the hard way. I've learned from experience. I believe as a customer success manager, you should think of driving success, bring more value to the customer, one time, one outcome at a time, and you start to build on that. Success will happen when you start to build more successes on top of each other. It will not happen overnight. It will not happen by delivering the first value. But once you start to deliver value, every time you interact with the customer, there is a value you deliver. And there is the way, or that is the way you build the success with the customer. So one at a time, focus on what is necessary today, what's important today, and by delivering more of those, then you are making things happen. And after some time, the impossible will become possible. You can't jump on the top of the ladder at the first day. So you need to go step by step, start to build on one on top of each other, and then you reach to the top. Once you reach to the top, then every impossible will become possible because you have delivered so many values, and the customer become really relying on you and believing you that you are the one who's working with them to deliver the value.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's great. I mean, it's, as a CSM, I say that all the time, or just really running CS. You can be a CS executive, CSM, but I was talking about owning your plot of land, right? Like you're given an area of land that you need to manage and maintain and make successful. That's really your customer portfolio, or your customer base, depending on the level that you're in. So what you're talking about, Mo, just that kind of stacking good value over time with the customer, or with the customers as a whole, that will hopefully lead to the result of renewal, expansion, advocacy, all the things that you're looking for. But it's a process. It doesn't happen in one event or overnight, typically, right? And it's just a question of like, have you created more perceived value than perceived cost or effort or challenges? And if you're doing that consistently, then yeah, typically the customers will end up renewing and doing more with you and growing. So I really like that as well.
Guys, I think there's something else I'd like to add as well. And the reality is that in order for us to make profit out of a client, we need, or an organization, we need them to renew at least once. If not, what is the cost of acquiring the client if they don't renew within a year? I mean, for me, it's a whole cycle as well. It just makes sense. There's some psychology into customer success, 100%.
Definitely a ton of that. And for most organizations, especially, have some type of recurring model. And these days, 9 out of 10 organizations has some type of recurring model, even if they are consumer goods company selling, makeup or whatever. They want the user to create, advocacy and brand loyalty and come back and buy when their thing runs out, come back and buy it again. And that's a form of renewal or kind of restocking with the same individual customer, right? So I think 9 out of 10, maybe close to 9 out of 100 organizations have some type of recurring part in their business model. And usually the first sale is, will cost you as much as you're actually making off of it, or maybe sometimes more. For SaaS organizations, they'll spend more than what they're getting in on the first initial contract. But the idea is the renewal, the expansion, that's where the profit and the margins will take place. So it's extremely critical, and it's built in deep into the business model of businesses out there. So yeah, that's a very good point, Ivy, I think as well.
It's not anymore a SaaS thing. It's a traditional business nowadays, or a traditional every company is looking for a successful customer, a satisfied customer, because that satisfied customer who will keep buying their products day after.
Absolutely.
And that's what the renewal and the expansion in the SaaS terms.
Yes, exactly. It's just called differently, but it's the same philosophy of maintaining a happy customer and creating more revenue from that customer over time. So I love that.
We're the best. We're the best.
Exactly. Amazing. Awesome. So Mo, this takes us, I know time has literally flown by so far during the episode, and we're actually getting to kind of our final section that we do with our guests now, which we both, I mean, I really enjoyed because basically what we'll do is we'll ask you a couple quick hitters, quick questions, get quick answers on them, high and low, and we would like to kind of finish off today's episode with that. So yeah, let me know if you're ready to go, and we'll kind of fire off some questions for you here, Mo, to get your quick thoughts on them.
Sure, go ahead.
Amazing, awesome. All right, so I'll start us off. I have a few that I always like to ask, and then I know Ivy has her go-to favorite questions that'll be coming up as well. So first question: what is your kind of currently favorite type of content to consume? Could be favorite book, podcast, or just generally. What do you like to consume right now?
For some time now, my favorite podcast is the Lifetime Value by Dylan Young and Rob Zombie and Jean-Pierre Forrest.
Yes.
So that's my favorite podcast. It's a quick, short, and they nail it. Every episode is something new, and a very quick one. I like.
Yeah, a 15-minute one. Yeah, that's great. Dylan is great as well.
My favorite book since like almost 8-10 years now is Leading Change by Kotter. That's my favorite book. It's my reference. I was flipping pages from time to time, but it's always on my desk. That's my favorite book. Other than that, I just enjoy jazz music.
Very good.
Oh, nice. Look at this.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, some jazz. Yeah, that's a good list of recommendations right there, Mo. Again, Dylan and their podcast is great. Quick 10-15 minute episodes. really easy to consume, and also the great book recommendation for anyone, any type of kind of CS or just leadership type positions who want to become get into those type positions. So very, very nice recommendations right there. All right, next question, real quick one here for you. So currently, any favorite person or people to follow or kind of take inspiration from? Anyone worth mentioning? You think?
Yeah, in my opinion, uh, Jay Nathan and Peter Lee are, for in my opinion, those guys are the legend in customer success.
Yeah, very good.
Uh, I always, I follow them. I'm in contact with them. I always read their posts, their thoughts. I'm learning a lot from them. They are legends.
Yeah, they're great. They have a lot of good content. Jay, I think always comes out with interesting ideas as well and concepts. So again, really really good recommendations there, Mo. And then my last question for you here, Mo, is if you could pick one thing high level. We're kind of in the start of 2025. What's your favorite prediction for this year for 2025?
AI is a necessity in 2025. It's not a fancy tool anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I like that. And totally agree with that. Yeah, it will be a must have versus a nice to have before it's all said and done this year. Awesome. All right, let me hand over to Ivy. You go ahead.
All right, Mo, I'm going to ask you my favorite question to ask. Okay. Okay. What is one life philosophy you like to live by?
Every challenge is an opportunity to learn.
I love that.
Don't leave any challenge. Don't run. Don't run away. For me, it's not challenging. It's not interesting. I live by challenges, and I like to be challenged all the time. That's how I learn. Challenge, and I will learn.
Yeah.
Easy to get, then I will not learn
Love
because
that.
it was easy to get.
Love that.
So
And Mo,
Love that.
lastly,
I like
That's
what
great.
are you up to on the weekend? What are some of your favorite things you like to do to relax or to spend your weekends? And where can people find you if they're trying to connect with you?
so. My weekend is a mix. It's not the same every week, but usually I like to spend time with my family, with my. They are not kids anymore. They are young men now. So I like to spend time with them.
They're always babies. They're always babies.
Yeah. I like to play music in the weekends. I'm learning, so I like to play music. And I try to spend the whole weekend in this way and just try to be a little bit away from the daily routine and customer interaction during the week. Um, I'm planning this year also to grow the community. This is part of what I like to do, especially in my free time as well. So this is a mission that I'm looking after, uh, growing the community, um, driving more value to the local community, and bring more opportunities to people to learn more and to grow within the
I love
industry.
that, Mo. And before we started recording the podcast, we were talking about like what's the next best thing for you in terms of how much more you can grow the community. And I think it's okay for us to talk about the plan of the event that you want to have in Egypt. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So after like almost 2 years of uh, um, digital interaction with the community. Although we have done a lot of events last year, but this year the plan is to focus more on uh, in-person activities. I want to grow that connection is not only behind the computer screen, it's actually a human networking. It's an in-person engagement and networking and get people to know each other. So we are planning a lot of events. There is a plan to host one big event this year. I'm planning in Egypt. I've done an event in Egypt last year, but it was like kind of medium-sized event. But the plan this year is to host a huge event, full day summit, where we have different people, different speakers, in person as well in Egypt to connect, to engage, and to educate the local community.
Wow, I love that. I can't wait to attend. And one of the things that I am thinking about, Mo, is that with all of this talk of like, wow, AI is here, is it going to replace us, and all of these things, I think one thing that it will never replace is community and our need to connect to others. So I actually believe that experiences and community are one thing that are not going to be replaced by AI. So I think it's wonderful that you're doing this, and yeah, we're all looking forward to attending.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be a blast. And I've been to, some Coffee Connects and some of the things you guys put together, and they're always so good speaker content, and just always a good audience and community of people there. So yeah, can't wait for the bigger ones as they're coming up this year, and all the continued work that you're doing, Mo, with the CS Middle community and beyond. That wraps us up for today, Mo. Thank you so much. We know how busy you are, and you have all these engagements across the board. So thanks for spending some time with us today. We look forward to having you on again. And thanks for your time. Talk to you soon, okay?
It's been an honor.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
We want to thank our sponsors for supporting the Success Revenue podcast. RevSetter is the #1 customer success and management platform in the Middle East region, offering global capabilities mixed with regional solutions that helps your CS, account management, and go-to-market teams 10x efficiency, improve customer experience, and turbocharge customer retention rates.
And thank you to Medlify, a leading marketplace. Workers and employers in the healthcare space needs and demands meet to create benefits for both sides. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.